Hey, this is kind of my first forte into this. I've seen a lot of other YouTubers that have done similar things, piqued my interest and thought, hey, I like this stuff, why don't I do it too? I haven't seen much online, of people talking and going to various New Jersey Transit train stations, and I thought, why the hell not? So, if you don't know this channel, how to pronounce my name and who I am, my name is Lolcats, and this is pretty much the content that I'm going to be doing. Kind of chill things, looking at different train stations and whatnot. So this is the first train station that I'm really looking at for this channel. This is Woodbridge train station in Woodbridge, New Jersey. Kind of self-explanatory for the name. It is a high-level platform train station, which means, as you can see, it's very high off of where the main road is. Now, we are basically on the edge of the downtown of Woodbridge, as you can see from the lights over there. That is the main Woodbridge downtown area. Now, this train station was originally built basically in 1873 by the Woodbridge and Perth Amboy Railroad, and then that original train station was built at grades. Basically, it just ran along the road. However, in the early 1900s, after a few deaths and accidents, it's decided to raise it as it is now. This construction originally took place in 1938, and then it was finished in 1940. As well as New Jersey Transit then took over in the early 1960s and basically took over what the Pennsylvania Railroad was doing and acquired the Woodbridge train station. From there, in the early 2000s, they decided to basically make a reconstruction and refurbishment project, and that went from September 2005 and was finished in the middle of 2007. The main line that goes through Woodbridge is the North Jersey coastline. It is one of the main lines that runs through New Jersey, as well as on the other side of Woodbridge there is the train station called Metro Park, which serves both the Woodbridge and Menlo Park residents. That train station is situated on the Northeast Corridor, which, as you know, is one of, if not the busiest train lines and corridors in the entirety of the continental United States. This train station sees trains coming in, going to Long Branch, and then eventually Bayhead when the diesel conversion happens from Bayhead at the Bayhead station. And then trains go from here all the way to New York Penn Station. As well, the coastline will always do a stop at this station, no matter if it's a local, a semi-express, an express, or a super express. As I previously mentioned, this train is on the North Jersey coastline, which is going to be the main focus of my early videos that I will be doing with this series. I'll be focusing on stations like Aberdeen Mattawan, Red Bank, and other ones on the coastline, and then going on from there I will be doing more stations on the other lines, such as the Northeast Regional Line, as well as potentially the Atlantic City line. As we can see and previously mentioned, there's a lot of buildings and restaurants and other things that you can go to, as well as some transit specific residential. As you can see, there is this, I think it's an apartment, or it's maybe townhouses or something like that. And then this is the whole parking situation for this station. This station is notable because on some other coastline stations you can just pay for parking. However, parking here is permit required. So to park in any of these spots, you would need to have a valid permit to park. However, free parking on weekdays after 11 and all weekends and holidays. And like I said, other stations, anyone can really park. Now with all that boring information out of the way, and statistics, and dates and other things, now we can actually walk in. That is the train coming in. So let's walk to maybe catch and see that train that's coming in. So we walk, some nice murals. It's this underground section which leads you to both platforms, as this station is a island section. Now this is ADA accessible, as there is an elevator, or if you just don't want to walk up these long ass stairs. So here we can see one of the trains is going to New York Penn Station. I call them double-decker trains, and if you couldn't tell, that's because there's 2 floors to it. Now if you didn't know, this is basically one of the 2 main locomotive sets of passenger cars that are in New Jersey Transit service. These are the Bombardier passenger cars. This is it going out all the way to New York Penn Station. No idea if it's super express or local. That's pretty cool that we got it. So one nice thing about this station is they have large TVs, which a lot of the stations do not have on the coastline. Obviously playing advertisements, because why the hell not? Make money when you gotta make money. But if you look on the bottom, you can see accurate time information for the trains coming in. So you can see the next long branch is coming at 6:50. And you can see some information about some other ones. So you can see there's a notification about the Northeast Corridor, Long Branch Station, partial platform. So it's a pretty cool station. I don't come here much, but I have passed it on my couple trips to New York. Obviously full catenary, as this line is fully electrified all the way to Long Branch. Now there is some ample seating with some benches, not actually hostile, an actual bench, as well as some actual indoor and sheltered seating. However, somebody is in one of them that is closest to me, and I really don't want to intrude on them. But here's a sign for the Woodbridge. So we're on track 2, which is a track that always goes to New York, home at Berkeley College, which is just some local community college that is around here. As you can see also, there's a nice signboard telling you all the stations that our train goes to. You can see some of the ones where there's gaps. The train doesn't go there, obviously, so no point trying to get on the train that goes at those times. And here's also a map where you can see the Bayhead to the Long Branch section, just kind of as its own thing according to NGT. But that is where it is diesel run, because that side is not electrified. And then going from Long Branch all the way to New York Penn Station. So here we go, doing a full walk down on the track 2 side of the Woodbridge train station. Now, to be honest, I have been influenced by a lot of different, transit YouTubers and bloggers. Some people like Miles in Transit, some other people. And so I thought I'd just give it a try. Why the hell not? I got some free time to kill. Who cares? So, probably won't even get a ton of people. Maybe some close friends, other people. Is there anyone in this? No. Alright. So over here, people left some garbage. Well, we have a little indoor section, and I will say, despite what it looks like, this is fully heated. These are not just regular lamps up here. These are heated lamps. And I could tell you, on a day like today, where it is currently only 56 degrees outside, and I'm dumb and I only wore a sweatshirt, the heat's feeling pretty nice, I'm gonna admit. And you can wait in here. You got views and windows from both sides, so you can see out, see if the train's coming. And actually, a notable thing that wasn't over there, this is actually a full map of the current New Jersey transit routes. So, as you could probably figure, a ton of routes go into New York Penn, but they also have the other ones out here.
The next train to stop on track 1
and also,
the 6:44
as you can hear,
westbound train to Bay Head, stopping at South Amboy, Aberdeen, Matawan, Hazlet, Middletown, Red Bank, Little Silver, Long Branch, Elberon, Allenhurst, Asbury Park, Bradley Beach, Belmar, Spring Lake, Manasquan, Point Pleasant Beach, and Bay Head. Please stand back from the yellow line. Please watch the gap between the train and the platform when boarding.
So yes, as well as these heated here and this whole place being newly constructed, there is actual loudspeaker systems, and they will give you accurate information. Now, with that saying, Bay Head, that means that is a fully diesel locomotive, most likely pulling Comet cars, as that is the other type of passenger car that is most seen on this route. And we will most likely get a shot of that train coming in. As well as a small little thing, we again have this departure board. I believe this is in fact a touchscreen. So, is it? Yes, it is. So you can move it around. See that? Go back to the menu. See down here. Go to departures, and you can see an accurate tracking. And here's a ticket machine. You can buy tickets going wherever you want for bus and train. But here comes. Oh, here we go. It's another Bombardier train. So that is the vehicle pulling it. Should be a diesel locomotive, as well as these are Bombardier passenger cars. So these are again the double-decker cars, as I like to call them, and they are pulling that all the way to Bay Head. So just walking a level down, getting off. These could be people literally come from New York Penn, but the final destination is Bay Head, all the way down on the coast. It's the people coming by, waving for the train to go and leave. Some more transit development, and there is the diesel car at the end, which will take us all the way down to Bay Head. See it go. Also, as you can tell, this train station is actually on a slight curve, which is very fun to look at when you're looking down this way. Look at the train go. And there she goes. hair is getting blown in the wind. But I will say that I am a big fan of the station. I wouldn't say it's my favorite, as there's not a ton that you could do here, but for a smaller station on a smaller line, it does its job. According to a 2012 ridership study, this station does usually get about 1,600 riders a day, weekly. Is it weekly? Yeah, so this station does get about 1,600 riders daily, according to a 2012 study, which is really nice. That's good ridership. Honestly, now kind of got the gist of the station, so I'm just gonna do a quick walkthrough of the entire train station. I will say the station, again, pretty nice. Has, good information, good signage, which you can't say for a lot of stations on this line. But I think it's pretty good. You could have announcements that are coming on the speakers. I feel pretty safe. Overall, I think this is a pretty good station. I'd give it a solid 8 out of 10 for station review. It has good accessibility. You can see good signage, and it's ADA accessible. And as I say this, train to Long Branch is pulling in. And this has the other cars that I mentioned. These are Comet passenger cars. They're a bit smaller. Just gotta get out of the way for some people. A bit smaller. Not a ton of space, but they're pretty comfortable seats. These are more of the box and lounge seats, if you can see in there. But they obviously do not feel there's as much space as the double decker. I just wanted to say thank you for watching. I know I'm not at the train station right now. It's fine. I'm a new YouTuber, kind of just figuring out things right now. It would help if you subscribe. It's not necessary. And if you don't want to subscribe, don't. I'm just making this more for me, just to have some fun. Thanks for watching.